Hi, and welcome to another edition of Bauer Business Bites. My name is David Tighe. I'm the Managing Director of Bauer Media Group here in Northern Ireland. And I'm delighted to welcome our guest this week. It's John McGrillen, who's the Chief Executive of Tourism NI. Good morning, John.
Morning, David.
It's great to see you, and it's great to finally be able to talk about tourism and tourism here in Northern Ireland as we approach the summer months. John, before we get into where we're going, let's just try and quantify where we've been. What has been the impact in revenue terms of the last few months on the tourism industry in Northern Ireland?
Well, I suppose where we have been is that the tourism industry globally has effectively shut down and has been shut down since really the 19th of March for those of us in the UK, when essentially all travel into the UK was sort of more or less brought to a halt. And we found ourselves in a position where, even from a domestic point of view, bars are closed, hotels closed, restaurants closed. So people who perhaps might have wanted to enjoy even a short break at home, or even go out for a night for that matter, were unable to do so. So really, since for the last 3 months, just over 3 months now, 3.5 months, the tourism industry has been in deep freeze. I suppose in financial terms, if we look at what tourism was worth last year and the year before in Northern Ireland, it was typically worth about £1 billion. Like that, we define a tourist by someone who stays away from home overnight. So we're looking at the money that they spend when they take that short break. That doesn't include people taking day trips. It doesn't include people coming off cruise ships. It doesn't include people traveling up from the Republic of Ireland on a day trip, for example. So I would say, to suggest that what has happened up to now has probably cost the tourism economy somewhere in the region of about £200 million or thereabouts wouldn't be far away.
That's some fairly serious numbers, and thankfully things are moving forward in a more positive way now, and finally that's starting to happen as we start opening up hotels and venues and attractions across Northern Ireland. How hopeful are you that we can effectively save the summer?
Well, I think it's critically important for the industry that we save the summer. I mean, one of the big challenges for the industry, of course, is this kicked in at the end of March, so that's really at the end of their low season, where money tends to be flowing out the door than in the door for the tourism sector. The summer period is when they generate their income. What we can't afford is for the industry to almost suffer from 3 winters in a row. So making sure that we deliver demand and that we get people through doors, staying in accommodation, eating in restaurants, drinking in bars, so they're allowed to do that, getting into attractions is going to be really important longer term. So that we can ensure that we maintain as much of industry as we can in order to respond when hopefully we see a return to more international travel, in the latter part of this year, early part of next year.
How resilient are the people that work in tourism, and how has this affected the people that we love to see when we go to all these fantastic tourist attractions and resorts across Northern Ireland? What's been the impact been like for them?
Well, the first thing I would say is, our industry is incredibly resilient. This is an industry which in Northern Ireland went through, the guts of 40 years of civil unrest and managed to make its way through that. We have seen significant growth over the last number of years, of course, and new businesses enter into the marketplace. But historically, it has been extremely resilient. I suppose the impact of what is happening has been cushioned somewhat by the job retention scheme that employers have been able to tap into. The fact that there's been rates relief. So a number of the schemes that government have put in place and the executive have put in place have been very helpful to basically helping the business to survive. The real challenge is now going to be, now when we open up, can businesses open up and can they operate on a commercial basis? So I think one of the real critical factors in that has been the decision to move from 2 meters to 1 meter social distancing. Within those environments, because without that, I don't think it would be possible for many of these businesses to really have operated sustainably, and probably could not have opened their doors. So what has happened in terms of the development of the guidance, the changing in social distancing, the development of a charter mark, and a timetable being put in place, albeit at somewhat short notice, but that has allowed people to prepare. And we kick off our marketing program for the year now. So all of those things combined, hopefully we'll start to see people flow into those establishments and stay overnight. And I am having looked at just trying to book some stuff myself online. I'm quite heartened by the numbers of places that I already see booked out for for July and August. So I'm quietly optimistic, I have to say.
That's good. That's good. Well, Bauer Media here in Northern Ireland, very, very happy and proud to support Tourism Northern Ireland. And in fact, this time last year, if we cast our minds back, we were supporting the Open Golf Tournament in Portrush, Northern Ireland's biggest, I think, probably, if not one of the biggest, if not the biggest event that's taken place for a number of years. What a difference 12 months makes. And with that in mind, do you think that we will be talking about large scale events in the near future? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, it is hard to believe, that the Open Championship was 12 months ago, and it's hard to believe really what has happened since. But in saying that, and there are green shoots. I think evidence of those green shoots is the fact that Royal Portrush, Royal County Down Golf Course, pretty much Royal Portrush are booked out, for the whole of the summer for 2021. So, whilst people are being disappointed and haven't been able to get here this year, that is not putting them off coming next. And those courses are very heavily booked. It will be for the medics. It will be for the chief medical officer and others to decide, what can and cannot happen with large scale events. It'll be the I suppose the health issues that will drive decisions around that. But there is some positivity, particularly this week in terms of some of the press around the potential for a vaccine. Maybe next year at some point. We do have our own big events like Northwest 200, for example, that we would very much like to see happen next year. And regret that it couldn't happen this year. But we didn't have anything significant planned for 2020. But we would like to think that there are things that we can bring on stream of that scale again, in 2020, maybe not 2021, but certainly 2022. We will be looking to see what we can do with regard to big international sporting events then.
Well, John, whatever you're doing, we wish you the very best of luck, and we send our best wishes to everyone involved in tourism in Northern Ireland. We're here as always to support you and your team. And thank you for giving us the insight today on tourism. And let's get everything opened up as soon as possible, and let's get enjoying the fantastic sites and attractions that Northern Ireland has to offer.
Thank you, David. Thank you, and we appreciate the support that we get from Cool FM and Downtown. We really do. So, thank you very much for that as well. Thank you.
Thanks, John.